everybody to What You Did Not Know. I am your host, Marcus Bethay, the owner of C3 Wellness, and today I'm back here with Dr. Orman, our lead acupuncturist.
Hello, everybody.
Today we're going to talk about the ups and downs, highs and lows of the holiday season. We know the highs when it comes to everybody happy, just celebrated Thanksgiving with family. Christmas time is coming, so everybody is cheerful about getting gifts, spending more time with family. But the flip side of that is depression, mood swings, changes, things that make you sad, also dealing with loneliness during this holiday season. So Dr. Orman is going to talk more about that and get more into detail in regards to how we help with that here at C3 Wellness and, some things that kind of contribute to that.
So symbols have always been important in our society. So for example, Christians, the cross, or Jewish people, Star of David. You've seen what they call the Tai Chi symbol, which is the black and white. It looks like two fish eyes. You see it in kung fu studios, Chinese restaurants, acupuncture, etc. That's basically yin and yang. And it simply means that when things reach a peak, they go to the other side. And when they reach a peak, they go to the other side. Things are always evolving. Things are always changing. One of my teachers used to say, oh, you're happy? Don't worry, that'll change. Oh, you're sad? Don't worry, that'll change. Mm-hmm. And there is truth in that. And there's
kind of like the Florida weather.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There's a balance in life. And we know about, as you mentioned, we know about the upside. The downside's a little bit more difficult to deal with. I find it more difficult to deal with because the people who need it or want it don't always ask for it, and they have a tendency to isolate themselves. And one of the big things here that we offer is different types of treatment and different types of approaches. Mm-hmm. So we've mentioned over the course of several sessions here the physical aspect of it. We mentioned the acupuncture, herbal medicine, massage, etc. Mm-hmm. I think one of the components that we don't mention, that most people don't mention, that's sort of not talked about, is a spiritual component.
Correct.
That's, you don't talk about religion and politics. Well, politics is probably a good idea not to.
True.
But there is an aspect of spirituality in here that can be a huge help.
Correct.
So, for example, we see people, this is the behind the scenes. People will come in and sometimes they've had rough, massage people, myself. You've had a rough morning, you got out of traffic, and you're not prime time just yet. But you put all that aside because somebody else is suffering more.
Correct.
And when you see other people do that, that to me is such an act of kindness, that kindness is energy, and that energy is going somewhere. Mm-hmm. And it's a high vibrational energy. And I think when you start to treat people with that type of energy, they immediately feel better. Correct. And there was a weird study that they talked about getting a particular emotion. They considered love and kindness and compassion the higher emotions versus anger, depression, etc. Mm-hmm. And through the air, there are specific chemicals that are transmitted. Mm-hmm. So if a person is incredibly happy, it will actually land on your skin, the particular hormone, through the air. Wow. And you'll begin to feel it. Mm-hmm. And we've all experienced this.
That's funny.
Did you ever walk into a room and somebody's really angry, and all of a sudden you are? Mm-hmm. I don't have a reason to be angry.
True.
Or I was kind of a bit of a case of the blues, and everybody's happy, now I am.
It's amazing. And it's funny you talk about the spiritual aspect of it, because what people don't realize is it is a spiritual warfare thing going on. Whether you want to believe in religion or not, whatever religion you believe in, it's always a choice. Like you said, you walk in a room of people being happy, that energy transfers. You choose to be happy, you choose to be sad. It's always a choice on what direction you want to take with that. And more so is you're fighting it or you're going with the flow with it. But it's always a choice. It's always a spiritual warfare. And it's depending on how you handle that, how you tackle that, is the results you get from that, whether you're choosing to want to be healed or you want to stay in the situation that you're in.
And there are specific, a little history of acupuncture. Back in the 50s when Mao took over China, he basically took all the great stuff out of acupuncture and tried to westernize it. So instead of, take 2 aspirin and call me in the morning, it was take 2 ginseng and call me in the morning.
Okay.
And a lot of the really unique aspects of acupuncture that made the difference was taken out. But fortunately, I had a couple of teachers that read Chinese, that studied in China, and were able to teach that information. So there were certain points that allow you to connect to, a higher self, or connect to your more in touch with what you feel, being more in touch with what your purpose is in life. And so, I get to not only treat that, but share that information. Becoming a nobody. Like, well, what does that mean? That sounds like an insult.
Right.
Well, when you're a somebody, you know a lot of stuff. But even if you know a million pieces of information, that's still very limited compared to what is all the information that is available that we know, yet alone what we don't know. And when we release our identity, our limiting identity, your father, your business guy, your basketball guy, we wear all these labels, but they're very limiting.
Correct.
And when we get in the frame of mind where we release all that and just become nobody, we basically sit in front of the ocean of all possibilities. All possibilities. And there's a possibility out there where I am totally healed. And I'll explain that to people. And it's kind of fun, because this is one of my favorite parts. You'll get the, and you could see the light getting brighter and brighter. And I think things like that, giving a different perspective and giving hope. Hope has 2 sides. The one side of hope is desperation. Oh, I really hope this works out. The other side of hope is, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I don't have to live in the darkness. And that's the hope that we pass along, sometimes through our hands with our massage therapists, sometimes through our needles, and sometimes through our words. And they all have equal value, even though they're different.
Correct. You are right. Well, I definitely hope that our words reach out to people that are struggling this holiday season. We know that it is a big issue as we touched on things of mental health. Let us help you this holiday season if you're struggling with loneliness or stress or anything that's kind of giving you a negative aspect. And even if you're happy, come in and check us out. Again, I'm Marcus Bethay, your host here with Dr. Orman, our lead acupuncturist. Make sure that you follow us on our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next week, see you then.